Hello grade 12 students and welcome to a new technical English 3 lesson. Our lesson today is unit 9 lesson 2 part 2 buildings part 2. Coursebook page 71, workbook page 45. Please bring your books and let's start our lesson. Let's start with the objectives of today's lesson. After studying this lesson, you will be able to discuss 3 buildings and their structural design, study and practice using modifying superlatives, locate specific information after listening to an audio to complete a table. Our starter today is to match the buildings with their descriptions. Okay, we have here the descriptions on the left side, and on the right side we have the buildings. Building number 1, Capital Gate, Abu Dhabi. Building number 2, the Gherkin, London. Building number 3, Hearst Tower, New York. All you have to do is to take your time to read the description of the building and try to match it with the name of the building. You have 3 minutes and you can start now. Welcome back, my dear students. Now let's check your answers and let's read the description of the first building first. This building is vertical and it has a rectangular base. It has flat surfaces with zigzag edges. What do you think the answer is? Which building? Building number 1, number 2, or number 3? Good, it's building number 2. Now let's move to the second description. This building is tall and curved. It is not vertical but inclined at an angle to the horizontal. It has an oval base. What do you think? Is it building number 1 or number 3? Great, it's building number 1. The last description. This building has a circular base and it is partly cylindrical and partly conical. It has curved sides. If you look at the sides of the building, you will find that it is the sides are curved. So it is obviously building number 3. Great. Now let's have a look at this box. Modifying superlative adjectives. Superlative adjectives can be modified using easily. You can use the word easily to modify the superlative adjective, or you can use by far. And let's have a look at this example here. Air travel is, we can say easily or by far, the fastest form of public transport. Here, before the superlative adjective the fastest, we can add by far or we can add easily. So the place is before the superlative adjective, not after the superlative adjective. Be careful, okay? And let's have a look at the language box. And let's read the examples in the box together. Hearst Tower has, we can say easily or by far, the greatest, or we can say the most extensive, or the least circular, or the most inclined floor area, floor plan, or tower of the 3 buildings or in the world. Okay, we can make sentences here. We can say Capital Gate is by far the most extensive floor plan in the world. Or we can say his tower has easily the least circular floor area of the 3 buildings. Okay? Now please open your workbooks, page 45. Exercise number 1. In this exercise, you're going to listen to the descriptions. Write the description number next to the right picture. Okay, we have here 4 pictures, A, B, C, and D, and we will listen to the descriptions of the building and we have to write the number next to it. Okay, are you ready to listen? Let's listen.
Unit 9. Design. Recording 23. 1.
The base of the building is square, but for 3/4 of its height, it tapers to its recognizable rectangular top, where an opening reduces the stresses of wind pressure. Its shape is often compared to a giant bottle opener. The hotel on the 79th to 93rd floors is the highest in the world.
2.
When this building was completed in 2004, it was the highest in the world. The towers remain the tallest twin buildings in the world. The 2 spires at the top of the building, which are not antennas, form part of the structure. The towers are linked by a 2-story sky bridge linking the 41st and 42nd floors.
3.
For a time, this was the tallest building in the world. It has an unusual shape. 8 tapering sections rest upon a huge base or pedestal, which also tapers upwards from the ground floor, which is in the shape of a square.
4.
This building is likely to remain the tallest building in the world for many years. The Y-shaped base gives the structure great stability. The lower part of the building provides 160 floors for human occupation. The top 46 levels of the thin, pointed spire are for maintenance and services only.
Now let's check your answers. Number 1 is C. Number 2, D. Great. Number 3, B. And number 4 is picture A. Great. Now let's move to exercise 2, also workbook page 45. You have to listen and write notes in the table about buildings A to C in exercise 1. Okay? Burj Khalifa, B. Taipei, C. Shanghai World. You have to write the information to complete the information here: the city, country, height, depth of foundations, and so on. Okay? Are you ready to listen? Let's listen.
Unit 9. Recording 24. Picture A.
This was called Burj Dubai. Dubai because of its location here in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, but they changed the name when it opened to Burj Khalifa. It's the tallest building in the world at 828 meters, with effectively 206 floors, but the top 46 are only for maintenance. The foundations have to be deep. They go down to 50 meters. The floor area extends to 464,000 square meters. You probably noticed the shape of the building as you came in. It's quite distinctive and elegant. In fact, it's Y-shaped, which gives the building greater structural stability. It's a building for mixed use. There's a large hotel, and there are apartments and restaurants, and an outdoor observation deck. Do you have any questions? I can give you some more details if you like. For a start, there are 25,000 windows to clean.
Picture B.
Do you see that very tall building in the distance? That building is the tallest building in the city of Taipei and in the whole of Taiwan. It's called Taipei 101. For a time, it was the highest building in the world, but it isn't the highest anymore. It's 509 meters high, and the foundations go down 80 meters under the ground. That's because it's built in an earthquake zone. So it has to be very stable, both to withstand the earthquakes and also the very high winds that you get in this area. It has 101 stories, plus 5 stories underground. And the floor area covers 412,000 square meters. You can see it has a very recognizable shape. There are 8 tapered sections of 8 floors each. They rest on a tapered base, which is square. Finally, Taipei 101 is a mixed-use building, consisting mainly of offices and conference centres, with some retail shops and restaurants.
Picture C.
On your right is the Shanghai World Financial Center. Although it isn't the highest building in the world, it's the highest in Shanghai and the highest in China. 494 meters high, and the foundations go down 79 meters underground. The original design was for a tower of 94 stories, but the plans were changed, and this has 101 stories with a floor area of 381,600 square meters. Now it has an interesting shape, rather like a bottle opener. It's square at the base, but tapers to a rectangular top. The hole at the top has a very practical purpose and reduces the wind pressure caused by high winds. It's a mixed-use building. There's a hotel near the top of the skyscraper, and there are offices, conference centres and shopping malls on the ground floors. Above the opening at the top is a public observation deck on the 100th floor, which is the highest in the world.
Now let's check your answers. And let's start with Burj Khalifa, Dubai. Country, UAE, excellent, United Arab Emirates. Height, 828 meters. 50 meters. Stories, how many stories? 206. Floor area, 464,000 square meters. Shape, Y shape. Hotels, apartments and restaurants. Further details, 25,000 windows. If we have a look at the Taipei 101, it is in Taipei in Taiwan. 509 meters, 80 meters, 101 plus 5 equals, the total will be 106. 412,000 square meters, 8 tapered sections of 8 floors each, offices, conference centers and shops. The last one, Shanghai World, Shanghai in China, 494 meters, 101, 381,600 square meters, hotel, offices, conference centers and shopping malls. Now check the answers for 2. Then for each of lines 3 to 6 here of the table, write 2 sentences using superlative forms using easily or by far where appropriate. Okay, for example, in line 3, Burj Khalifa is by far the tallest building of the 3 buildings. Okay, take your time to write some sentences using superlatives, and you in front of the superlative you can use easily or by far. Take your time, you have 5 minutes and you can start now. Welcome back, my dear students. Now let's check your answers. We can also say Shanghai World Financial Center is the shortest building of the 3. Taipei 101 has the deepest foundations. Burj Khalifa has the least deep foundations of the 3 buildings. Burj Khalifa has by far the greatest total number of stories. Shanghai World Financial Center has the least number of stories. Burj Khalifa has by far the greatest floor area, and the Shanghai World Financial Center has the least extensive floor area of the three buildings. This is the end of our lesson. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Till we meet again in a new lesson, goodbye.